Hi, my name is Emily Carter. I am 32 years old. For 7 years, I worked as an administrative assistant at a mid-sized real estate management firm in Chicago. I wasn't rich. I wasn't powerful. I was just someone trying to survive paycheck to paycheck. And the man this story is about was my grandfather, Robert Carter. Grandpa Robert was once a strong man, the kind of man who fixed broken doors instead of calling repair services. The kind who woke up at 5 a.m. even after retirement. The kind who believed family always came first. Until one day, family decided he came last. It started quietly, small complaints. Dad is too forgetful. He repeats the same stories. He's becoming a burden. My uncle, his eldest son, was the loudest. My aunt nodded along silently, and my cousins, they avoided eye contact. I was the only one who noticed. Grandpa sitting alone at family dinners, pushing food around his plate. Then came the meeting. A family discussion, they called it. Grandpa sat on the couch, hands folded, listening like a child being scolded. My uncle cleared his throat. Dad, we think it's time you move somewhere safer. Somewhere with professionals. Grandpa blinked. Move where? My aunt answered softly. An assisted living facility. An old age home. I watched Grandpa's face change, not angry, not loud. Just empty. I don't need help, he said. I can still cook. I can still walk. My uncle sighed dramatically. This isn't about what you can do, Dad. It's about convenience. That word, convenience. The decision was already made. No vote, no discussion. 2 weeks later, they packed his clothes into 2 suitcases, like he was going on a short trip. He hugged the house walls before leaving. He touched the door frame where he had marked our heights as kids. No one noticed. The old age home was clean. Too clean. White walls, quiet hallways, no laughter. A nurse handed Grandpa a clipboard. Sign here, Mr. Carter. He hesitated. Do I have a choice? No one answered. That night, Grandpa called me. Emily, he said softly. Did I do something wrong? I cried after the call ended. Visits became rare. My uncle said he's fine. My aunt said he doesn't even notice anymore. But he did notice. Because every time I visited, Grandpa asked the same question. When am I coming home? Then one day, he stopped asking. That scared me more than any. 3 months passed. Then Grandpa fell. Nothing dramatic, just a slip in the bathroom. But something changed after that. He became quieter, smaller, and that's when I noticed the papers. I was helping him organize his drawer at the old age home when I found an envelope. It wasn't labeled will. It wasn't labeled bank. It simply said, property documents. I frowned. Grandpa, what is this? He looked at it for a long moment. Then he said, they never asked, Emily. Asked what? That night, Grandpa finally told me everything. Decades ago, before I was born. Grandpa had invested in real estate, small buildings, warehouses, apartment complexes. He never lived flashy, never told anyone. Money changes people, he said. So I stayed quiet. Then he said the sentence that froze my blood. Do you know the building this old age home is in? I nodded. Yes. He smiled sadly. I own it. I laughed at first. Then I realized he wasn't joking. The entire facility, the land, the structure, leased to a private company, and my family had put him into a building that legally belonged to him. But why didn't you tell them I asked? He looked tired. I wanted to see who loved me without knowing. That broke me. 2 weeks later, Grandpa passed away in his sleep, quietly, alone, no family present. At the funeral, my uncle cried loudly. My aunt fainted dramatically. Cousins posted sad photos online. I stood there, holding the truth. Then came the will reading. The lawyer's office was packed. Everyone expected property. Money. Inheritance. My uncle smiled confidently. The lawyer cleared his throat. Mr. Robert Carter has left detailed instructions. He began reading. To my uncle, nothing. To my aunt, nothing. To my cousins, nothing. The room exploded. Then the lawyer looked at me. To Emily Carter, he leaves full ownership of all his properties. Gasps. Including the old age home building. My uncle stood up screaming. This is fraud. The lawyer slid documents across the table. Signed, verified, legal. 1 month later, I terminated the lease. The facility had 60 days to vacate. The same nurses who ignored Grandpa now begged. On the final day, I stood outside the building. I placed a plaque near the entrance. It read, Robert Carter Memorial Housing, where the elderly are treated like family. My family never spoke to me again, and I was okay with that. Because Grandpa finally came home in a way that mattered. If this story touched your heart, like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think about children abandoning their parents, because stories like this are happening every day.